Oh, hello again, guys. Zobirochia here, back with another What If. So, guys, I'm coming to the end of what Naruto was banished from the Hidden Leaf Village. This is the final part 5. I really would have loved to extend this What If, but I'm now running out of ideas for it. Yeah, so currently, 2 of my What Ifs are done. I have 2 others which are yet to be done. What if Naruto created the Akatsuki? I'm discontinuing that What If, as I ran out of ideas midway on that one, so I'll try to update it as soon as I get some more ideas to put into it. If you have any suggestions, you can just drop them in. So let's get straight back into the video. Sorry about that. So guys, we start as Madara has the 10 tails as he begins to cast the infinite Tsukinome. So as Madara is casting the infinite Tsukinome, Naruto pops up with his Rinnegan blazing, paying no mind to anything as he's just waiting for his time to strike. So Mighty Guy, does what he does from canon, goes and fights, Madara. Going head to head with him, Madara's looks like he's about to lose, but Madara at this point is just throwing with Mighty Guy, as he knows he can just send the Truth Seeker orb and end his life then and then. So Mighty Guy eventually runs out of juice and then he drops to the floor. This time Naruto doesn't save him, it's Sakura who goes to him and then pumps a bit of a chakra into Mighty Guy's heart so he doesn't fully die. So Naruto is just waiting to see what Madara will do, as Madara then opens the third eye and activates the infinite Tsukinome. So the god tree then starts to envelop the people as it starts to making those cocoons and trapping them inside into the dream world. So as people are getting trapped in the dream mode, some of the shinobis are trying to run, but the god tree is catching them. So Madara then leans back down as he starts smiling brightly as he sees his dream has finally come to pass. But out of nowhere, Black Sets then appears in front of him and stabs him right through the chest. As Madara then gasps in shock and says, "But what? How?" Black Sets then said, "Stupid mortal. Haha. I was the one who was controlling you from the very beginning, since the time of the Sage of the Six Parts." So, as this continues, Madara begins to transform into, Kaguya. So, Kaguya then stands up in, full glory as her garments are shining. So, Kaguya then sees that the infinite Tsukinome is on as she gasps in shock how the infinite Tsukinome is on. So at this point, Black Satsu is in Kage's sleeve and then says, "Mother, it's very good to see you." Kage then says, "Thank you, my son, for bringing me back." So Kage then opens a portal as she slips into the portal. The portal remains open as Naruto, being the G that he is, he slips into the portal and the portal closes. Just as Sasuke, Kakashi, and Sakura wanted to hop in, but the portal then closes. So as the portal closes, the shinobi from Naruto's village, who had escaped, the god tree, they're looking for their leader to see where the leader is, but they can't seem to find him. So inside the portal, the dimension where Naruto is right now, Naruto is staring up at Kaguya as he's looking at her. Naruto then activates his Rinnegan as he begins to scan Kaguya as he sees the tentacles latching on to Kaguya's mind and soul as it's controlling her like a puppet. So long flashback when Kaguya consumed the god tree and she got the Jubi and everything. The Jubi slowly began to take control of Kaguya's personality, mind, and she became as cold as she was and went crazy, wanting to get chakra back. So, time skip, flashback, and time back to the present. So Naruto eventually catches on to this as he then decides, to separate Kaguya from, the Jubi. As Naruto then starts fighting with, Jubi Kaguya. So now to this point starts using Sage mode in an attempt to, slow her down and manage to like get in contact with her. Because Naruto is fighting, Zetsu begins like to notice what Naruto is doing. Is he like doesn't really want this to happen? It's like Zetsu is like a offshoot of like the god tree. It's not like Kaguya's view or anything. He just like had instructions from the god tree, to reform the god tree and continue like to destroy this world and everything. So Zetsu then says mother dodge as Kage starts avoiding and throwing ash killing bones, throwing truth seeker orbs and everything as they're clashing. Back to the battlefield. Sasuke, is really pissed that he can't go and help Naruto. So the Sage of the Sixth Path then pops up as he thinks of giving Sasuke the power, but he then senses like what's in Sasuke's heart, and then he decides not to give Sasuke the power. As Sasuke like wants to use the power for like selfish needs. He wants to take control of the world and do all sorts of things. So the Sage, then goes through the portal and gives Naruto the moon seal, the sun and moon seal, both of the seals. Because like Naruto had already gotten, like the power of the sage, like back in Uzumaki. He then like got the full extent of the power of the sage. As a staff then appears and then a third eye. I think Kagoromo Tsutsuki has, a third eye. I think so. So the third eye then opens. So at this point, Naruto is now on equal footing with Kage as they continue fighting. The landscape of the dimension is shattered and seems as it's about to explode. So Naruto then, takes advantage of this. He goes and decks Kaguya in the stomach as Kaguya, bends down. Naruto then, does the reverse harem, jutsu as, Kaguya then blushed. So Naruto then made contact with her, but not sealing her away. So Naruto then made contact with her and it says, 10 dragon confinement seal. So Naruto, does the 10 dragon confinement seal. He then, like, extracts, about one like the Jubi from Kage as Kage drops down in pain, clutching her head, and then she begins crying. Then Kage then says, thank you, I am finally free from that thing's influence. So Naruto then uses like the power from the Sage which he currently, the power like his Renegan ability as he like begins to absorb the Jubi, consuming the Jubi completely as like all the tail beasts become lost. So Naruto, consumes the Jubi. Kaguya then looks at him and says, you know it's gonna corrupt your mind, right? As Naruto then disagrees with him and he says, no, I practically destroyed the Jubi and turned it into chakra. So that chakra is not the thing which is gonna corrupt me. So Naruto at this point is like really become a god right now. He's like full-fledged god mode. Sage of Six Paths power, on top of the Jubi and everything. So Naruto then opens a dimensional portal as Naruto and Kaguya hop out. The Naruto and Kaguya hop out. The Sage of Six Paths is shocked. Naruto, why didn't you steal away? Naruto then explains to the Sage of the Six Paths how, the god tree had taken control of Kaguya. So people are still starting the infinite Tsukuyomi at this point. So Naruto then goes through Hansus, releasing the infinite Tsukuyomi. So Naruto releases the infinite Tsukuyomi, Madara's body then drops, but Kaguya's physical body still remains. So Naruto then rushes and captures Black Setsu, tossing him to the ground as he then destroys Black Setsu with the Truth Seeker Orb as Black Setsu's reign of changing the Shinobi World has just ended. So Naruto then stares up at the god tree as he sees Sasuke rushing at the god tree in an attempt like, go and take the fruit. Naruto immediately then runs to Ento's wood cage as he then traps Sasuke in a wood cage as he then like sucks out all of Sasuke's, chakra, leaving him drowsy and unable to, complete his task. So it then rushes to like the top of the god tree as his hand begins to pose as the god tree, begins to shake violently is it starts sucking up the nature energy which is like are all around the earth. So as it's sucking up all the nature energy, the god tree begins to get more defined, bigger and bigger, like the size of like the trunk of like a baobab tree. So it's like the god tree is growing. It then begins to form a second fruit, but this fruit is like lighter than the first one, which is at the very top of the tree. So it's about 20, 20 minutes as the god tree is finally stood there as a big tree. So practically now to re-functionalize the god tree to to suck out chakra from the earth and chakra from people, so that like he can bring the reign of shinobi down. So Naruto then takes the the current lighter fruit which is there, and then he gives it to Kaguya. Kaguya then consumes of the fruit, and as her horns extend and she grows the third eye again. Since Kaguya then does the third eye, she then thanks Naruto. See, like then jumps onto Naruto and kisses him on the lips. So as Naruto like gets kissed on the lips, Naruto begins to blush. I'm not sure like who Nature's ship was, but I changed it. It's gonna be Kaguya now. So Naruto at this point, starts to kiss Kaguya and all that stuff. As Kakashi then like yells, "Get a room." So Naruto then just chuckles as the other fruit is still on the country. So time skip 3 months after the war. So it's been 3 months after the war, and like the shinobi begin to know that their chakra is running out. So they then make a Kage summit about it, as Naruto is also there. Is it then begin to ask Naruto questions of what he had done. So practically Naruto then says, practically what I did was, I programmed the god tree to start sucking out chakra from the earth, as I have seen that this chakra brings wars onto people, as the child beast and everything. So I decided to bring a new era of peace. Instead of like having to use chakra, we can live equally as humans. Instead of wasting all our time and money on resources on wars and everything. So another time skip about another 6 months. Sasuke has been reprimanded. He's now like the guy in canon, as he goes to trophy of the world. Naruto gets offered the position of Hokage. He practically denies it. He wanna spend time with Kaguya at his, own village. No, no, scratch that. So Naruto is like back at his own village. He has Kaguya, and then he tells like all the Uzumakis and everyone knows that his village that Kaguya is his fiance. So in the shadows, Kunoichi is hurt by this, as she was like Naruto's first Uzumaki friend. So Naruto had already discussed with Kage that like she might have to share him with Kage, and says it's okay with me. So Naruto then like reaches out for the girl who we're gonna name Satsuki. So it's like Satsuki then begins like to solve the internet was short the saying, but why not me? And Naruto then like pulls up Satsuki's face, and then kisses her on the lips, and then says, Sasuke, you two are precious to me, and I love you very much. So Naruto, then kisses Sasuke, as he then proposes to both Sasuke and Kage, which they both accept. So another time skip, 3 years. Naruto's village has been thriving. It's now on the same equipped strength as the other nations. There also is alliances everywhere. So Naruto at this point is 4 kids, which I don't really give a f about what you're gonna name them. You can just name them by yourself. But they have some of Naruto and Kage's Keke Genkais and everything. So guys, this is where it's gonna end. I really did not have an end for this what if, but I ran out of ideas, to be honest. So guys, think I'm gonna be making a new what if. It's called like what if Naruto was the Winter Soldier. So I think I'm gonna be dropping that later today or tomorrow, depending on the time. So thank you guys. See you in the next video.